All right, so we're going to move on to This Week in Movies, our segment where we normally talk about what's coming to the multiplex, but since everything has shifted and things are not opening anymore, we went ahead and looked at some trailers for movies that are going to be coming to streaming services near you. We want to start with a Netflix movie that's coming called The Platform, and it's pretty funny. We all watched this trailer, and I think our immediate reaction was, oh, this is Snowpiercer, but with a really bizarre twist. Jakey, you want to set it up?
Yeah, it's basically some sort of a prison that is vertical. It goes up and down, and every floor there are a couple of people. And I guess the top floor is people who are not in prison, and they get to eat a meal every night. And then whatever is left over, that table goes down into the prison level per level per level. And the social commentary I get from the trailer is that we all consume more than we should. And if we only consumed what we needed, there would be enough to go around. And the idea is you only get what's left over from the people above you. But in theory, please be a good person and leave enough for the people below you. And naturally, that doesn't happen. And it's a pretty obvious social commentary. That being said, it does look really interesting, and I want to see it.
Well, aesthetically, it looks really wild. Like just the symmetry of this building structure that they are in as the table is getting lowered from one level to the next. These people can almost look up and see the people that are above them on the proverbial food chain. And there's a suggestion that if they were to go down below, it's a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, I'm kind of all in on where this is going. Yeah. So that's coming to Netflix.
That is a movie I would say, drop it now. I want to see it.
Yeah. We watched a trailer for a movie called Below the Man Down, which when Kevin phrased it, said it looks like a Fargo ripoff. And I can kind of see that. It looks a little bit like two girls who are getting deeper and deeper into a crime. And the more that they try to cover up everything that's happening in the situation, things keep getting worse for them, and they keep trying to cover their tracks and figure out where it's going to go. But it has Margot Martindale in it, who I tend to really like a lot, and it's kind of fun. Like whenever you get a character actor like that who shows up in a streaming project or just a project that you're curious about thinking about, that type of actor can just pull you in with their performance. You can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dial in and see what they're gonna bring to the table.
Yeah, Kevin was talking about earlier in the show how Jonathan Banks, who plays Mike in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, is sort of one of the most underrated actors working today, and I would agree. But I would also say that about Margot Martindale, who is absolutely incredible. She was amazing in what I believe was the second or third season of a show called Justify with Timothy Olyphant.
Oh, and that's another movie or show I really want to watch.
Great show. And then also she was great throughout a series that I consider to be one of the best series in the history of television, which was The Americans. She was great in The Americans.
I think you've called 7 shows now the best show in the history of television.
No, not the. Among the best shows I've seen. And trust me, I've seen a lot of bad shows. Trust me.
Yeah, that's a good quantifier.
But The Americans is incredible. Margot Martindale, in every scene she's in, instantly, doesn't matter who she's standing next to, like she grabs my attention. She's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And I get that Fargo reference, Kev, because 100%. That's exactly what William H. Macy sort of did. That's what Frances McDormand sort of did. So even though it's set in a community that you're not that familiar, this looks like a Norwegian fishing village of some sort, or I think it's New England actually. But
it looks like an homage to the Coen brothers. I mean, again, it's not a bad thing. I mean, so many filmmakers watch other films and get ideas, and that's how filmmaking works. It just reminded me of Fargo.
If you're going to rip someone off, that's a really good duo to rip off.
Steal from the best.
And the final one is an Apple TV film that's coming out, which is very funny because they had the premiere for this in Memphis a few weeks ago before all the chaos happened. And it's called The Banker, and it stars Sam Jackson and Anthony Mackie. And Mackie, again, is one of these guys who seems to be working really hard and popping up in a lot of different places. Yes, he does have Captain and the Winter Soldier coming on, but this is another film that... I don't know how to describe this one. How would you guys describe The Banker? What did it look like to you? Is there something you can kind of compare it to?
I mean, I like Anthony Mackie. I like Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, I'm interested in seeing it just based on the trailer. Looks interesting.
Did it look original? I can't quite. I feel like I've seen it.
It looks fine. It looks
fine. Yeah. All right. I guess that we'll wait and see if these other ideas come to streaming services. And in addition to that, that's what we want to get to next. It's just some recommendations that we have for things that we have either watched or are about to start watching. I know Jake has one that he wants to throw out there because it's, again, when I watched that Fox 32 segment, Jake, you're sending people to Hulu to watch Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I mean, Friday Night Lights is... See, now I can't even say it because you're just going to give me shit for it. But it is genuinely one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Here's the deal. There's a difference.
TV show.
There's a giant difference between my favorite TV shows and TV shows that I would consider are the best TV shows I've ever seen. You know, like The Americans is truly, truly great television. But it's not. I wouldn't put it in my top 5 favorites. It's a slow burn. I probably wouldn't watch it again. Like Friday Night Lights. I mean, it's about football in Texas, small town way of life. It's very much how I grew up.
Sure.
Kyle Chandler, who is actually one of my favorite actors. Coach Taylor, that character is just astounding. That has one of the best marriages in the history of Connie Britton, in the history of television. Him and Connie Britton are absolutely incredible together. Beautiful show, wonderful score, a lot of explosions in the sky, which it's a band I'm a big fan of. And it's just an amazing show. And like the best sports movies, it's not about sports. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't really like football, so I'm not going to like it." It doesn't matter. You shouldn't need to like football to like Friday Night Lights. Sure, of course, naturally, football is an element of it, but it's just an amazing show. And if you never got the chance to see it, you're really missing out. And I can honestly tell you this: I've never recommended it to someone who didn't come back and say, "That's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire life." Every person who I've recommended that show to comes back to me and says, "Thank you so much for recommending that." No one comes back and says, "Oh, I couldn't finish it," or "I didn't get into it," or "It wasn't my thing." Everyone comes back and says, "That show is amazing."
Aren't there a bunch of young actors too that sort of break out of it?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is in it and fantastic. Taylor Kitsch, it's really kind of where he got his start.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an amazing cast. Journey Smollett Bell is in it.
Oh, no kidding.
Really, yeah. Really, Minka
Birds
Kelly.
of Praise, Journey Smollett Bell?
That's exactly right. So it's an amazing cast, 5 seasons, pretty easy to, here's the one thing I will tell you, the beginning of the second season, maybe just the second season in general, it's a little wonky and kind of just ends briefly. It just ends suddenly because that was when the writer's strike was happening.
Oh, okay.
So it just stops. So if you're wondering, wait, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It's because they were in the middle of the writer's strike and it picks back up with season 3 and kind of fixes itself. But that's the one little blemish, I would say, on an otherwise perfect show.
All right. Kevin has 2 movies that he wants to recommend. Before I throw to him, I'm going to throw to myself and just say that on Netflix, I started getting into Schitt's Creek. So this is a show that Michelle gets up super early in the morning. She's up by 5 and she's moving around the house and she gets an hour to herself before she starts waking the rest of us up. And so she uses that time to binge a lot of television, and she has rifled through shows like Marvelous Miss Maisel and Handmaid's Tale. And she started doing Schitt's Creek, and I started waking up for a couple of weeks straight of just her bellow laughing in the kitchen. And she would come up and say "You have to watch this show. It's so damn funny." And I don't know why, I just never connected. I just didn't start it, And so one day while I was traveling and I was stuck in the hotel room, I thought, all right, I'm going to fire this up while I eat some dinner here. And it was just laugh out loud funny. And why wouldn't it be, right? Once you realize who's involved, Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara and then the younger actors, who one is Eugene Levy's kid. I didn't know the concept of the show, and I don't want to give it away to anybody until you find out what it is, but it's really, really funny. That explains how they get into their situation. But the show also has, in addition to just multiple laugh out loud moments in every single episode, has a lot of heart. You get to invested in them as a family. The townsfolk that live in Schitt's Creek are all bizarrely small town, and it is just some of the sharpest satire I've seen. So if, like me, you put off a very long time getting into Schitt's Creek, it is flat out hilarious. And they're quick binge episodes. Yeah. Don't watch The Office for the umpteenth time. Give a new sitcom a chance. I feel
personally attacked by that comment.
I didn't necessarily want to aim that at you, but I'm saying they're 20-minute episodes, and that's something you can get through really, really quickly, and it's super bingeable.
I've always wanted to know this. I know the show is called Schitt's Creek and it's spelled differently than the curse word, but how do they get away with saying it on TV?
It's Netflix.
Well, no, Schitt's Creek was on network for a while. Wasn't
it was on a Canadian network, right?
Was it really? Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's
interesting.
why I don't understand. Like, but even when they go to like the Emmys or whatever.
But I mean,
like,
I say it on TV whenever we talk about it. I think it's the same reason. Like, you know, if like in The Gentleman, if someone's last name is fuck, you say it because that's what you know. Just because it
That's
sounds
interesting.
like a swear word.
Jake, there is no way that you would go on local television and say the F word if it's someone's last name. There's no way you would do that.
You have to.
You wouldn't do that. Your
You
station
have to.
wouldn't let. You cannot say no one's last name. You could not say that name on the air. You would get fined.
You absolutely have to.
There is no. Oh my god! I would
It's
love.
pronounced Mr. Bullshit.
Yeah, there's no way you would drop an F-bomb on TV, even if it was a last
If
name.
it's someone's name, it's someone's name. It doesn't matter what it sounds like. You say, if water's going over a dam, you don't say, well, I can't say that because it sounds like a swear word. Like it's a thing.
But damn is actually an actual physical thing. The F word is a curse word. Damn is a physical thing that exists.
But if
you can make an argument for that.
But like in The Gentleman, if someone's name is PHUCK, like
Okay.
who are we to say that we can't say that person's name?
And let's use Schitt's Creek as an example. It's based on the last name is SCHITT.
Right.
The
I
last
will
name
give
is
you-
Shit.
I will give you the perfect example. If someone's last name in a movie
Yes.
was the F word, would the MPAA allow that past a PG-13? I'm sorry, prior to a PG-13. There's no way they would let that happen. It would be considered the F word, and you know that. You telling me that they would be able to make a movie with a guy with the F word as last name and keep it PG-13? There's
It's
no
a good
way.
debate. I have no idea.
If
I don't know the
there were
answer.
a major news story, a major
Right.
breaking worldwide news story,
Uh-huh.
and at the center of it was a doctor whose
Dr.
last
Fuck.
name was fuck,
Right?
Dr. Fuck.
we would have to, as journalists, you have to say it. You have to. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice,
You would
Kevin.
actually get fined. I would love to see Jake in that situation. There is
Dude,
no way
everybody
you
would
would say
dance
that
around
word
it.
on
You'd
TV.
be like, Dr.
Of course, I
Fuquet?
said Schitt's Creek on TV.
That's different. That's a show that people know about. To say the F
But
word.
but my point is that if someone that we like came into the news whose last
Right.
name was fuck, we would have to say it. You don't have
Okay.
a choice. The news is news.
I'm still waiting for your answer to my question. Would a
this.
movie still get a PG-13
That's not
if
what we're talking
someone's
about. I don't know. Probably not. But that's not. But a movie is not news.
No. I'm asking you a question. If someone's last name was the F word,
I don't know. If it was a true story about a guy who did something wild and crazy in this world that we've probably all reported on by that point,
Yes.
then they would probably have to give it a pass.
I don't buy it. I think that
Now,
word.
if it's for a joke, like Meet the Parents, then you know they were like then it
I got
obviously
it, I
becomes a
got
different
it.
thing.
Like if Clint Eastwood made a movie about the guy who stopped the Atlanta bombing and it wasn't Richard Jewell, his name was Richard Fuck.
Then you have to do it.
The title of the movie would be
Yes.
Richard Fuck.
Yeah.
that would never happen.
But we're talking hypotheticals, Kevin. Hypothetically, if a guy came into the news whose last name happened to be fuck, we don't have a choice. As journalists, we have to say it.
Literally, we're saying whoever comes up with the coronavirus cure, like they're gonna make a movie about him someday. It better not be.
He will be played by Tom Hanks.
Yes, he will be. It better not be Dr. Fuck, or we're
Or Kevin's
doomed.
not going to cover that story at all.
All right, Kevin,
Not
you do
happening.
have 2 movies that you want to recommend though for people to stream.
God, that went off the rails fast.
Do you remember them?
Yes, I do.
Fire away.
So I was going to do Better Call Saul, obviously, for the streaming, as you mentioned, Sean.
Yes.
And then I was going to do True Lies, which is on HBO Go and Now, which is like
it?
really the only place you can find that film that I've seen in HD and in widescreen format. So if you're a True Lies fan, it's not available on Blu-ray. And it's one of my favorite James Cameron movies ever. If you have an HBO subscription, you can go right on to HBO On Demand, or you can go into your Amazon app, and that will have the HBO layer there. And you can find like True Lies is there, Upgrade is there, Warrior is there. But True Lies, if you really want a full-blown HD widescreen format of that movie, the way it was intended, that's the only way that I've seen that you can see it, unless you fly on a United flight, which is how I had to watch it for a long time. That's how I had to watch
That's
True Lies.
Nuts.
I had to watch my only route to True Lies because I bought this DVD that the ratio was so messed up. It was like 4:3. It was cutting off the movie. It looked terrible. You can't find that film anywhere on HD to purchase. And so that's the way I was watching it.
Do you have it on just like a regular DVD?
Yeah, I was watching it on airplanes because I needed my True Lies fix. And now it's there. So the other one I'll mention is just an obvious one for me personally. It was Jay and Silent Bob reboot. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Amazon Prime for free. So if you have an Amazon Prime membership, you can actually go on there and watch Jay and Silent Bob reboot for free as part of your subscription.
That's amazing.
And so if you haven't seen it yet, and if you're a big Kevin Smith fan, it's an incredible film. We all loved it. And if you haven't seen it, now you can. It's on streaming.
That's fantastic. I actually think, I wanted to watch that. I was going to say I'm going to watch it tonight, but I already agreed to watch Leftovers.
We should do a live watch party, all three of us together, or four of us together.
Fun. Do a little commentary.
You know what? I mean, Gabe, maybe we could put that together. It's an idea.
Well, there's that new Netflix party option.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
that
fun.
Chrome extension. But
Right
Kevin,
now,
you
Gabe is pulling his hair
cannot mention that you're the one who was responsible for the Ben Affleck scene getting written into
Wait,
it.
what?
There's just
I
too
don't
much
know what you're talking about.
What's that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.